Alright, hello guys. I am the Enduring Name, and I'm going to show you how to create some Black Ops 2 logos. I have a lot of sports logos, well, 4 right now. Falcons, Green Bay, Texans, and Broncos, and I'll show you how to create those later. But we'll start with Goku. That's going to be the subject of this video. So what I'm going to do is I just have copied and pasted one of my previously made Gokus. I'm going to show you what to do on each of the layers. So for layer 1, you just take the armchair piece, and that's basically going to be your orange shirt for Goku. I have an orange and blue shirt, and those things basically serve to really pull the picture together. You can really use anything. You can use a triangle there. Just make sure it's the first layer and behind them, and it serves as a shirt. Next, layer 2 is just his hair. You can see there I use that lightning bolt thing, or whatever it is. I don't know, the hat, like 1/4 of explosion, whatever. And you just place it behind his head right there. Essentially, this video is just gonna maintain this sort of style. I'm not gonna create the emblem from scratch. I felt like I've already done that. Of course, if you guys would like that, I could do that with other emblems for sure. But here I'm just kind of taking it apart and putting it back together. So that is his big strand of hair to his left, layer 3. Layer 4 is just a huge trapezoid. What I did was I made it skin colored, and I basically squished it and then made it very large. And that serves as his neck. You can see me right there putting it back in place. Okay, and of course you need shadows. So what I did was I made a trapezoid and then I flipped it. I didn't flip it, I inverted it. So it's an upside down trapezoid. And what I did to make the shadow was I went into the color picker and I picked gray, like dark gray, and then I lowered the opacity to 14%, as you can see. And then you just lay it over his neck, and that'll serve as a great shading effect. You can pretty much do that with anything. I do that with his chin, I do that with his cheek. Anyway, there's his blue shirt. You can pretty much use anything there, just as long as you have a little bit of blue at the bottom next to his neck. It'll really pull the picture together. Okay, the tongue is the shape I use for the next layer. Essentially, I did the same thing I did for the neck, except I made it a little more opaque at 37%. So again, dark gray, and then 37% opacity, and then you just blow it up and put it there. Anyway, the next layer is a square. It's kind of skin toned, but it's a little darker than that. And I put it behind his hair just so it kind of looks like a shadow. Anyway, the triangle, of course, is his jaw. You just stretch out the triangle a little bit. Just stretch it out a little bit. Don't squish it too much. Blow it up and put it on the right side of your screen. You want to do this because essentially by putting his whole face on the right side, I don't have to waste layers doing his ear. So it's kind of cheating. Secondly, the bulk of his face is a skin-colored, I forget what they name it in the game, but it's that thing. It's that thing. And you blow it up, you make it big, and now you can see it. And maybe you squish it a little bit, and there you go. So that's the bulk of his face right there. The diamond serves as the shading for the left side of his cheek. And again, with all the shading, just make whatever you're trying to shade, or make the shading portion dark gray, and then just lower the opacity to a comfortable level. That's all you got to do. The smile is it's kind of a great thing. You can use it for many little nooks and crannies here and there, some highlights, but here I use it for his nose. It worked perfectly for his nose. You just make it black and you shrink it a little bit and extend it a little bit too. You don't want a too hooked nose, just kind of hooked. Again, here's a triangle for the bottom of his nose. You just squish the triangle, shrink it, and put it right under that smiley face symbol that serves as the top of his nose, the bridge of his nose. Okay. For the mouth, you just want to use the half tube. Essentially what I did was make it a dark color. Doesn't really matter what. I chose red or like dark brown or whatever for some reason. You just shrink it and stretch it out, and then angle it down and to the left a little bit, and it'll look like he has this really serious face. He's ready for action. Alright. Fighting action. That's what I meant. Anyway. Yeah, that's what you do with the mouth. Then, what do I do next? What are we on? Okay, we're on the chin. So the chin, or for the little dark shadow that serves as his chin, essentially just use the cone and make the opacity like 50%, and again make it dark gray, make the opacity 50%, shrink it down, stretch it out just a little bit, and you're good to go. Put it below the mouth. Okay, next is the eyes. Essentially for the eyes, you can use the same piece that you did for the bulk of the face, just have them be white, that's all, not skin toned. And for the eye that is to the right, you want that one stretched out just a little bit more than the eye that is to the left. The eye that is to the left should be less stretched out because of the perspective from which we're viewing his face. So just keep that in mind. The same thing is going to apply to the eyebrows. I'll go over that in a second. For the eyes, just use circles. You don't have to use semicircles. You could. I use circles mostly because half of that circle is going to be covered up by the eyebrow anyway. Okay, for the eyebrows, just use, I think it's called the hat bill or something. It's going to show up in a second. Oh, the visor. Okay, same thing. It's called the visor. Just use that. Make it Super Saiyan color and put it over his eyes. You want to stretch out the one to the right a little bit more than the one that is to the left. Just stretch it out a little bit more, again, because of the perspective. See, that one's a little, you can see it compared to the eyebrow that is to the right. It's just a little more, I guess, normal. It's kind of thicker. Okay, after the eyebrows, I'm just going to go into the face highlights. Essentially, for the face highlights, what you want to do is you want to use, I think it's called a windsock. I don't know where they got these names, by the way. The windsock? How does that, whatever. It's called the windsock, and you make it skin toned, is what I did. You make it like skin toned, and then you lower the opacity to 56% or whatever, and that'll serve as a good face highlight. For the one to the left, for layer 20, for layer 20, you make it a little skinnier than the layer that I'm currently manipulating right now. So the one above, you make it a little bit skinnier and you angle it upward, and then the one I'm manipulating right now, you make it a bit thicker and you angle it a little down to the left. So next I'm going to go over the hair, and the hair is pretty easy, and frankly you don't have to be as meticulous with the hair as you do with the rest of the face. The hair, hair changes all the time on real people, and same with Goku. When he's in wind, it'll blow in weird directions, but generally you want kind of what I'm going for. It doesn't have to be exact though. Again, you see the hair is, I actually use different colors of yellow for the hair just to give it some sort of depth, and so that it doesn't look all like one blotch of yellow above his head, so that you can actually see the individual pieces. So that's the strategy I used. For the one strand of hair that you're seeing now, I actually used several of those, I don't know what you call them, I think they're called waving flags in the game, something like that. Anyway, I used several of those to create that one main strand of hair. Anyway, the hair to the right, I used the flag breeze, and you just put it on over there. You don't have to even distort it much. Don't distort it much, just enlarge it like you've probably done with all the other things, and move it a little to the right, and you're good to go. Okay, for the little black things under his eyes, use the scribble. It works really well. Really makes him look like a badass. Just use the scribble, shrink it down, maybe make the opacity, like I used 72%, it worked well for me. And then stretch it out a lot, shrink it down, and you're good to go. Same thing with the scribble, with the eye, what do you call those? I don't know. But same thing with the one to the left, just make it a little smaller than the one to the right. For the thing above his brow, for that wrinkle, just use the, I think it's called bone, or whatever, something like that. And again, dark gray, change the opacity, angle it like how I've angled it, stretch it out a little bit, you're good to go. Use the shuriken for the little thing between his eyes. And again, dark gray, change the opacity, and try to make the bottom of that shuriken align with the bottom of his eyes. That'll make it look really good. And lastly, I use like a white, very stretched out, large smile to serve as the highlight for that middle strand of hair. Just a little bit of highlight. I don't know, can you even see it in this video? Maybe. Anyway, once you've done all of those things, you're good to go, Goku. Okay, well, that wraps up my very first emblem creation video. I hope you guys liked it. Certainly let me know if you did or didn't. If the style is off, maybe I should be doing what the other emblem creator guys are doing and just letting the music do the speaking instead of myself. Or maybe not. Maybe you like the walkthrough style. Anyway, stay tuned because I have more videos coming out. I'm going to be doing NFL logos, maybe basketball logos. Also, I'm taking suggestions. So certainly leave a comment below to let me know what you guys would like to see in this emblem creator. Thanks for watching.